What's up, keepers? I wanted to catch you up on what we ended up doing this past December. We have a lot of cool content out, but I really have no introduction on what we ended up doing. So this past December, we decided it was time to start out with our gloves. And that meant I needed to drive or fly all the way back to Miami and set up the warehouse so that we can get the gloves in and make sure the gloves came in correctly from our supplier. So one of the main things that we were doing in the US was setting up Atlas goalkeeping, getting those gloves in the nice warehouse, and then getting everything set up so that I can send it out, at least in the US, while we get everything set up for Europe, where Atlas still hasn't been able to send out in Europe, but that's just what happens. We're gonna see if we can fix that up. So while yes, we were starting up Atlas goalkeeping when we came in December, we also got to meet up with some of our former goalkeeper coaches and some of our old friends. Starting out with Ronald Garces and with Giuseppe, Coach Giuseppe, which was my former coach back in Plantation when I used to play travel soccer. And now Ronald Garces, a great friend and an amazing goalkeeper that played for the Venezuelan national team. We were able to meet up with them and get training sessions with their professional sets. So they had professional goalkeepers come out, they had professional players. We even got to verse some high quality professional MLS strikers, guys that are making goals, banging in goals from the MLS, and you can see why. So keep your eyes on these videos because we're gonna have some MLS pros, some USL pros, some goalkeepers that are playing in their D1 schools, and some goalkeepers that are playing professionally already with Inter Miami or the Miami FC in the USL. It really was an insane set to have. And I also have a lot of giveaways that we ended up doing. We will be having some Atlas giveaways, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And guys, just make sure you have a lot of fun because there's a lot of cool content coming. And this is our introduction. Let's jump over to Miami. So we are in Weston at Tequestas Trace Park. First time I've ever been to a park like this. It has been amazing. I mean, we got some top-notch goalkeepers right here. So let's see what a professional session looks like with that nice Latin flavor. So let's jump into what a proper goalkeeper training session looks like. Remember y'all, every trainer has a different style and philosophy, which is what I personally love about goalkeeping. It's an art that has its guidelines, but in between them you can find all different sorts of styles, techniques, and amazing coaches like Ronald Garces. And this session started on a bang with a professional strength and body coach who started us up on the activation set at the beginning of our set. And for you that might not know or haven't been through a proper session before, activation sessions or activating your muscles is like a type of a much more intricate warm-up that is primarily focused in engaging the muscle groups that are going to be specifically worked on during our goalkeeper training session. This means working from the ground up, activating leg muscles, calves, and everything in that area. These sessions are best run by strength and training coaches to properly time and push you like our coach Roger does. With this group of pro goalkeepers, take a gander. There's a lot of primo activation exercises you can add into your training. And as always, a big thank you to Coach Roger for letting us see a little bit of the great work he does and get a good idea of what a good activation set looks like. After we're all warmed up and our muscles are activated, Coach Ronald takes over. The keepers pair up and get into their warm-up hand and technical work sessions, where they are focusing on proper hands and body shape. These repetitions are all about building confidence and muscle memory with all the techniques necessary to get your body and hands behind the ball for proper holds. Once the hands are warmed up, our goalkeepers are led into increased intensity drills where they are adding footwork and 2 pieces of service to continue the theme of the keeper's body shape with a relaxed technique when the ball is hit at your frame that should be held.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, left. Beautiful. Yeah, right.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, one.
Right in front of the stick, I'll have a passer from right here. And then I need somebody just striking here. Striking? Yeah, just touch the head. I got service into my round. Release, I got a one-touch pass. Yeah, left foot. Pass back. I get set, stay on. Take a touch to the right hand or take a touch to the left hand. Pretty much what I'm working from over here is your way of approaching. If he takes a touch, ball. Identify dominant foot, make yourself big.
So keepers, this is a pro session and it has great goalkeepers like Noah Abrams from Miami FC. It has Danny Gagliario, which is playing in D1 soccer. We got D1 soccer players all over from Boston. We got pro soccer players from Mexico and Colombia. And I want you guys to see and I want you to notice how important it is that your service is good. Every one of the keepers at this session were smacking these balls hard and in the proper channels to give everyone the fair amount of work. And when they did mess up, it was a very obvious moment where the server would apologize. And remember, when you're out there to work with your energy, it's limited. You want to get good repetitions at proper intervals. If you get tired chasing bad services, it's a waste of training time, and that's a huge point in training. With proper professionals, proper effective use of their training time to maximize their technique and effectiveness in their game situations and training improvements. So if you are a beginner or an amateur keeper, keep an eye on these keeper set positions, hands, and especially their feet and footwork. If you notice that every one of these keepers are super light on their feet, almost bouncing for the ball. They are never ever flat-footed, or when they are, you will see mistakes. Their hands move together and always at a proper shoulder length between this distance between their legs. What I love about Coach Ronald is that he builds up from activation all the way to a full goal training exercise that has 3 to 4 keepers working together in servicing and moving for the ball while working out the keeper in goal. And as a point for young coaches who are watching this, who end up getting big groups of keepers, it is essential that we have everyone in the session moving around as much as possible and getting involved with servicing the ball. Not only does it help the flow of the training, but it also helps provide goalkeepers with the tools they themselves need for their own training. A coach can't service every single ball, and Ronald makes sure to get everyone working on the side so that when you finally do finish your set in goal, you are tired and you're working on another kick or pass, hopefully taking a short respite in between when you do get that chance. Again, these keepers are the cream of the crop, and it's amazing to see them work at this level. We have goalkeepers from D1 colleges to pro clubs in Colombia, Mexico, and the USL. So it really was a treat to be able to see this video and kind of be able to video this session and show you guys what the quality is like at a winter training camp that a pro coach like Coach Ronald would throw. So that's pretty much our first session in our Miami set when I went back to the US. It was an amazing set. We got a crazy time. I actually found a cat in the middle of the street and he ended up hanging out with us while we did this session. You probably saw him in the video. He has now been picked up by a friend of mine. His little name is Oliver. That kitten stole our heart, but that's neither here nor there. We have a lot more great content coming up, guys. We got reviews that are coming up on the most recent gloves, the Adidas Predators that just came out, and we have more content. Our next session is going to be with pro goalkeepers, and this time pro MLS soccer players, strikers that are going to be slamming the shots on us. Can't wait to show you guys what we're going to have coming in. Make sure to slam that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again very soon.
98 of them are professionals already. They're on a stage that they're just doing some off-season work. We've been working for the last, I would say, month and a half. This should be their peak of performance. We got a whole team working on their physical shape, on their nutrition, like all those kind of things. So we're pretty much building what's on how is it gonna look for them to arrive healthy, in a good body shape, and mentally well to their off-season with their teams. At this point, it's all about being efficient, just being consistent on like technical stuff, decision making. But the most important thing is that they feel comfortable with their bodies, they feel comfortable with what they're doing, especially right after coming from a long season. All the expectations for them are highly professionals. So it's all about sharpening up little things so they can just hop on their teams better.